What's up folks, welcome back to the channel. It's Fozzie here. I hope you're all having an absolutely splendid day. It's Monday, which means there's a custom tactics video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 5-2-1-2, one of my favourite formations from last year, and it took me way too long to get around to testing it this year. I love the formation as a whole. It brought me a lot of success last year. I think we posted the custom tactics video probably around this time last year, maybe over a year ago. That's when 5 at the back was not meta at all in FIFA 21. Basically, I decided to give it a go because there was a bit of 3 at the back, but most people played 4-2-3-1, 4-2-2-2, and 4-4-2. I decided to try the 5 at the back. I still finished the same rank, but it was much more fun to play with. I had a lot more success with it in regards to actually being able to attack and defend better. And I wanted to try again this year, see if it's the same, and then I can make some comparisons because I know a lot of a lot of you guys did watch the video from last year. So without any further ado, if you like the video, big thumbs up on it. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and help me out in the content journey. And let's jump into the custom tactics because that's what we're here for, and we don't want to take too long. So this is the team I ran it with. I know you can look at the bench and absolutely shout at me because there's so many different stacked players there. But this is the team we're using. We went for a full Serie A setup. We did have Nakata in there rather than Tonali for a while, but bringing Tonali into the team really helped a lot. So I tinkered with this a lot the past week. I did stream, by the way, streams down below is twitch.tv/mfozzie, same as the YouTube. But we had a stream, testing it out, playing some foot champs, and we found it as good, but with some issues, and that's what we're going to discuss. So we're playing a balanced, a 45 width, 60 depth, long ball direct passing, and again, 45 width. Long ball's big in this with how the wing backs get involved, and you'll see the custom tactics for the wing backs in a second here. But basically, the long ball and that direct passing just means that there's going to be lots of space for them to operate in, where the right back and left back are, because most people play 4 backs. It's a little bit narrow. Even better if you're playing a 3 at the back system rather than a 5 at the back, because obviously there's a lot of space there to operate in. And that's when you can take advantages, and that's where the formation's really strong. This is not how we lined up. I did make some changes to the team because I started testing a different formation. We want Tonali there, Vidal there, Zaniolo at cam, and that is the system. We are playing Gustafsson as centre back. I know you can call me a rat if you want, but his rule breaker card with the mad defending is a very good centre back. Positioning sometimes not perfect, but he's got good recovery pace, and I say 95% of the time he's a perfect centre back. So here's the instructions: goalkeeper, balance, default. You don't save anything, you don't change anything. Same as usual. Same applies for all the centre backs. I did consider putting like step up and stuff like that on it, but there's no defensive midfielders and it can create a lot of space, which is something we'll discuss in a second. So I kept them all the same. The right back, so what you can see is I am using an actual winger in the wing back position. You could use 2 wingers here and play very attacking, but I did like having Spinazzola. He's one of my favourite fullbacks this year, and he operates quite well as a wing back. Hopefully he gets a booster card. Yeah, I do want to do that. So for my defensive player, they're just fully balanced. But for the more attacking player, they're on join the attack and overlap. And what that means is when you're playing long ball, basically where Kulusevski is on the pitch, there's a lot of space that appears for El Shaarawy to make big darting runs into. Now, you can't do it over and over again when playing a good player or a top player, because obviously it becomes easier to read. But it's really easy to do triangles with like El Shaarawy and Tonali, Zaniolo and the left forward, and just get patterns of play going that then El Shaarawy can operate in and get big runs in behind. So your left midfielder is on stay on the edge of the box across and cover centre. Neither of them are on stay back here, but our right centre mid is on get forward, and that's it. And this is because one of the issues with this formation, with it being 5 at the back and it being wing backs rather than say left midfielders and right midfielders, it can be a little slow in the build up sometimes, and that's where you want a centre midfielder to be making that darting run. Now I will say, if your left wing back is more defensive and your right wing back is more offensive, you want to switch the tactics that we have here in the left centre mid and the right centre mid. Basically, because right now Spinazzola is not going to be making as many darting runs, so there's space for Vidal to get into. As if I tried to, it would create an overload if I did it the other way around. And in real life, that might work, but in FIFA, it's not always the best thing to do. Our cam, not much. Get into the box across. We had tested the cam on free roam. I used 4 or 5 different players in cam, and I had the same issue when it was all on free roam. It really messes up build up play, and that's where a lot of the issues I had with sort of a lack of people where I need them to be, because the cam would be sitting deeper than the 2 centre mids. It was really weird, so I turned that off. Get into the box works a treat. The right striker is stay forward, stay central, get in behind, and then the left striker is just get in behind. Again, these can vary it doesn't really matter. Basically, whoever your big striker is, if you run two big strikers, I know some people run two small 5-star little, I don't know, little fast merchant melons. But I like having one big strong striker. Simeone is one of the best strikers in the game. Despite being a 3-star, he's surprisingly very, very good. Have him on stay forward, he holds the ball up and helps bring people into the play, and then whenever I do make the passes with him, I can eventually make him have a darting run down the midfield. So that's the team, that's the tactics. I'll go back to, you need to look at my wonderful little squad for a second, and we'll discuss really quickly the issues that exist. I'm trying to make these videos a bit quicker and not a long 10 minutes for you guys. So what's really good about it? The wing back involvement works absolute treats, and I would say for 80% of the games I played, the opposition had no answer for it, and I could get really easy edge quits. I could just rack up goals really easily. When you're playing someone who's a higher end player, and this is where it all becomes very relative. If you're a Division 4 player and you try this formation, you'll probably have more success with it than if you're a Division 1 player or an Elite Division player playing against the highest level. It's how these things go. So it's successful, but it will vary depending on where you're at, and obviously that applies for any of these custom tactics and formations. The higher level you're at, the more predictable it can become, and the more you maybe need to adapt and use a couple of different formations, a couple of different tactics to your advantage. But the wing back involvement was fantastic. 3 centre backs obviously just works nicely. You've got a lot of cover there. I found the link up with the 2 strikers and then the centre mid on get forward was really good. Fidal, for me, got in a lot of good positions, scored a lot of goals for me as well. So I can have no complaints there. What I will say in regards to issues is the build up we discussed. Now, after taking the cam off free roam, the build up got better, but the pitch is still very divided. Like, you've got your 5 bank, you've got your 2, and then although the cam's not on like stay forward, you have like this bank of 3. So if this 3 all get involved and your wing backs get involved, the spacing on the pitch is really hard to get. You might be able to fix it by playing around with depth, but I think that's just going to be an issue. It was an issue last year, but I noticed it more this year. Obviously, I think the 5 backs were really, really strong last year, and I think they've had to touch those up to stop them being as abusive. Because I could imagine a 5-3-2 in this game would work wonders if it was the same as last year with how it worked. But the spacing is a bit of an issue in the midfield. That's where I concede some more goals. So while I'd say on the average game I felt more defensively solid, I would leak goals a lot more. Like goals that I normally wouldn't concede and shouldn't concede, I started conceding while using this formation. Again, it could be a me issue, and this formation is still good. I still recommend you try it and see what works with you. But it's good to be aware of where like the hiccups will be, and every formation has issues and strengths and whatnot, but it's just really good to be aware of what those issues are so it doesn't catch you off guard whenever you actually start using it. So that's the 5-2-1-2. Again, I really like it. I'm going to keep it as one of my custom tactics. I'm going to have to tinker it a little bit more, I think, because I will probably use it as an all-out attacking formation, which sounds weird, but I think if I played constant pressure with it when chasing the game, it could work wonders. But this week we're switching back to the 4-3-3 fifth variant, which I believe we made a video on already, but I'm changing those tactics around a little bit more, trying some different custom tactics. I'll say, like, not the instructions necessarily, the actual tactics. Want to try a few different things because I've been using roughly the same all year. It's getting to that stage of the game where it's very samey, so I want to change how my build up is, how my team is playing. I'll probably rebuild my team for this upcoming weekend. I'll get the likes of Ginola back in there, maybe Mane in because he's doing really good off the bench. I like to change my team a lot. I don't like to use the same players over and over, with the exceptions maybe of like a Zaniolo, support Roma. I want to have him in the team. But that's that. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thumbs up if you did. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. And also follow me down on Twitter just to keep an eye out on my opinions on content, and also when my stream goes live. Obviously Christmas coming up, so the streams will be a bit more barring over that period, but we are trying to get into streaming a bit more regularly, at least a couple times a week, so we can offer you guys squad building advice and everything else that comes with FIFA. But that's me for today. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.